Hey guys, Adam Trigger here. Time for On the Clock. College basketball, 7 games today. So kind of a normal slate, if you will. The last one for the next few days, we've got 4 games out in Hawaii, 3 games at campus sites. I'm going to talk about all 7, so stay tuned. I'll give you something in all 7 of the games, and hopefully we'll find a couple of spots where we can cash some tickets. If you are interested in my college basketball plays for the rest of the season, WagerTalk's got a coupon code going for the next few days. Trig349. Trig349 get you my full season at a discount. Nice week this past week, 7-4. We'll take that any week. And if you watched On the Clock on Saturday, you got one of my client plays, which was Princeton, who ended up winning the game outright. So good week last week. We'll try to do it again this week with very limited slates from now until Saturday. But still some opportunity, and hopefully we can find a couple winners along the way. When you hear that horrible buzzer sound, it means it's time to move on or kind of move on. I'll probably go over, but we'll try to keep it as close to 90 seconds as possible. And we're going to get going with, there's really no marquee matchup of the day. So I'm going to call Seattle against Washington the marquee game for a couple of reasons. We got a power conference team and we've got national TV, I believe Big Ten Network. It's also later tonight. So we'll call that our marquee matchup. And I got to be honest, if this is one of those games where if Seattle was at full strength, I'd be on Seattle, no question here. But they're not. And I think that needs to be acknowledged. Matthew Alexander Moncrief has been out the last few games. Seattle's looked lost without him. Kobe Williamson's been out all year, and he's probably not going to be back till January. Now, I do think some of what I talked about as it pertains to Air Force is going to start to play with Seattle, where it's like at some point there's going to be a new normal, right? Like Williamson's been out all year. Moncrief's been out for a few games. So they're going to probably figure out how to play. You know, you still have Dawson, Maldonado, Chris Afullis. Like there's good players on the Seattle team. This was a team last year that was, I mean, they were 23-14. They won the CBI. I expect them to be one of the better teams in the WAC. So how far can this line move until you have to, kind of play back? Because this opened, I think 9. It's up to 12.5. There's definite line value here on Seattle. I just don't know if I want to mess with it. Like there's no question that there's value in the number at 12.5. I lean Seattle, but I just don't know if I want to play them without the injuries. So I'm not overly high on Washington, so I lean towards Seattle. It's probably not going to be a play for me, but at some point, Seattle's going to be what they are without those guys, and I think there's some value in the number at 12.5. All right, we're going to move along to total of the day, and that's going to take us to Fargo, North Dakota. It's North Dakota State and Cal Bakersfield. And right off the bat, I mean, I'm not great at handicapping totals, never claimed to have been great at that. I think they're 4-3 since we started doing total of the day, maybe 4-3-1. So winning more than we're losing. But I look at this, and I see 2 teams that played in Bakersfield earlier this year and played to an 86-81 final in a game that Bakersfield won. Now, mind you, Bakersfield's a large underdog tonight. They're probably not winning this game, but they won that game 86-81. The team that's scoring the majority of the points of these 2 teams is North Dakota State. And this total is now like 140. So I'm just going to keep this very, very simple. There's a 27-point difference in total, yet this is now in North Dakota, where the team that scores more is likely to control the pace and the way that this game is played, and is an 11-point favorite, which means they're probably going to win this game. I think that's just insane. Like I would expect, I don't know if you're going to get more than 160, but certainly getting to 140 here has to be a possibility. Jamal Jones had a terrible game last time out for Bakersfield. He's their best scorer. I think he gets better. I believe he was benched in the second half. So I'm just going to keep it simple. Well, on a light card, let's just say that over 140, I believe it is right now, or whatever the number is. Bakersfield, North Dakota State. Hard to believe that it's that much more low scoring than the first meeting between these two teams. All right, let's move along. Boots on the ground. This is a weird one. Since I started documenting this on Twitter, I haven't been to any of these venues, but I have been to Thompson Bowling Arena. It was just like 15 years ago before I was posting stuff on Twitter. This would probably be back in 2009, had a buddy going to Tennessee. So we'll use this for boots on the ground. My number here says Middle Tennessee State. I mean, Tennessee has now gotten bet up to, I think, 28. That's an insane number. So my number definitely likes Middle Tennessee State. My concern is that they're not a great jump shooting team. And Tennessee is so elite defensively that, guys like Cameron Watson and Mustafa, they're big, who do a lot of their scoring, might not be able to get to the rim. Now, the handicap here is this. They might not be able to get to the rim against Tennessee early in this game when they've got their starters out there, but they certainly can probably get to the rim in the final 5 to 8 to 10 minutes when some of the reserves are playing. So not something that I'm going to bet today, but at 28, that's a crazy number. I believe that's what it is right now. I've got to lean Middle Tennessee State there in the hopes that when this, if this gets to the final 8 minutes and we're right around the number at 28, I do think, Cameron Watson is probably going to get his, those last few minutes. I do think that Middle Tennessee State gets to the rim, gets some easier buckets, and is able to stay within this massive number. So again, not a super strong handicap, but the number absolutely likes Middle Tennessee State. Okay, let's move on. I decided to bet this one. So if you've made it this far, this is the package. This is the play that's posted on my page. So don't worry about going to grab that. I ended up playing College of Charleston here. I took the 2.5 points. And the reason for that is Loyola Chicago is kind of a disaster right now. So this is a Loyola Chicago team. So let's just backtrack for a minute. I would have put the number right at 2.5 if everyone was healthy. I'm not super high on Charleston this year. I think they're kind of like a Walmart version of last year's team to an extent. Even though Chris Mack's a really good coach and he's still got some of the same players, I just a little bit sloppier with the ball, too many turnovers, not great rebounding. I just don't think they're quite as good as last year's team. So I have kind of looked for spots to fade them. However, they're still a pretty good team. CJ Fulton's a good player. Ante Brozovic's a really good player who had a bad game yesterday. So I could see him bouncing back. Darren Boyd, AJ Smith, like they still, Tavares didn't play particularly well yesterday, probably plays better today. So they're still a pretty good basketball team. They can't possibly be catching 2.5 on a neutral floor here against the Loyola Chicago team that has the issues that they've got right now. So I believe yesterday they were without three. They ended up without 3 starters. So Justin Moore is out, and he's been out for a while. Jaden Dawson is out, and I believe he's going to be out for a little while. Jalen Deloach, who's one of the transfers who hasn't got as much playing time, big opportunity for him yesterday. He gets hurt. So I don't know if we're going to see Deloach today. And then Kamani Hoenosu, I did not play either yesterday. Since Moore has been out, I believe Loyola Chicago's 0-4 against the spread. Dawson's been out the last couple games. So Loyola Chicago's failed to cover 4 straight games. They're now down 3 starter caliber players. And then Jalen Deloach, who was the guy that was going to probably inherit some of these minutes, very well might not play today because I believe he got hurt yesterday. And of course, this is a quick turnaround in Hawaii playing, a game after playing yesterday. I just don't know how Charleston could possibly be an underdog under that scenario. And then a somewhat key number of plus 2.5. So this was the one that got the vote before I realized I was going to play it. So this was the poll, the viewer's choice poll, got the vote before I realized I was going to play it. So I'm not going to hold back on you guys. This is a 4%er for me. College of Charleston plus 2.5. And that brings us to the parlay of the day section, which the one I threw together on Saturday, which was all underdogs, like 10-1, 2 of 3 hit. I know some people texted me or DM me and said, yeah, I was able to make a few dollars round robin them. That's great. That's the point. So a couple people said they bet all 3 of them straight, which means you would have won Manhattan, you would have won Hampton, and lost on Quinnipiac. Today, I am literally just going to parlay the favorites in the other 3 games that we didn't talk about, and then I'm going to throw North Dakota State in there as well. So what that means: North Dakota State, Oregon State, Murray State, Nebraska. That 4-team parlay is plus 121. And I'll ask you guys, you can throw it in the comments. Who ruins it? Who ruins that parlay? I can't see who ruins that parlay. So we already talked about North Dakota State. They're minus 650. I don't think they're going to lose twice to Bakersfield in the same season. They're so hot right now. They've won 7 in a row. It's a really good basketball team that I don't think is going to lose as a huge favorite at home. The other 3 games, Oakland's a terrible basketball team. Again, that goes back to Loyola Chicago. They lost to Oakland yesterday. That is a bad loss. That's a bad Oakland team. I don't see how they turn around and beat Oregon State the next day. They don't play a particularly deep rotation. Charlotte is terrible. I wish I played Hawaii yesterday. I didn't get the number I wanted. I fully expected Hawaii to just run them out of the gym, and they did. And now they have to turn around and play a very pissed off Murray State team who got destroyed by Nebraska yesterday. I don't see how they lose to that Charlotte team. And then Nebraska. Nebraska, I feel like you're getting a discount on Nebraska on the money line because they're playing a road game at Hawaii. But this is a big step up in class for Hawaii. They are, this isn't Corpus Christi or Charlotte. It's a big step up. I don't know if Nebraska covers that big number, but I certainly would be surprised if they lost here. So that's those 4 favorites: Nebraska, Murray State, North Dakota State, Oregon State. That 4-team money line parlay plays plus 120. We'll go with that for parlay of the day, and that's it. That was on the clock for Monday. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. The more likes, the better. It means they'll keep hyping up this show and letting me do it on a daily basis. And then check out that coupon code for the rest of my plays in college hoop the rest of the year. Coupon code TRIG349. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. or Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. Hope you have a great week. I'll be back, and I think I'm going to do one of these tomorrow to talk about the Wednesday Diamond Head Classic games. And that'll be the last one for the week. No games Thursday or Friday. And then we'll see you back with one of these on Saturday for a big Saturday slate. Again, appreciate you all for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys we'll see you guys soon. Hope everyone cashes all their tickets, has a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.